Welcome to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. I'm James Groves, and along with my business partner, Bill Dement, we want to share our journey as small business owners with you. As owners of Hole in the Wall drywall repair, we will attempt to peel back the curtain of owning a small business in the trade service industry and talk about the many adventures of owning a small business. Hey, Bill.
Hey, James. Good morning to be inside, isn't it?
It is a good morning.
It feels like summer in Florida out there already.
Ooh, hot, hot. I will tell you that when does this podcast air? Because we are really, really close to, when this podcast airs, we will have just passed our 3-year mark, our anniversary doing this show.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. So this show drops the 22nd. The 19th is our 3-year anniversary, July 19th.
Wow.
So happy anniversary, Bill.
Yep. Same to you. Congratulations.
Not bad.
I never would have expected it. You gave us some odds one time on podcasts. What were the numbers?
Yeah, they say that if you make it past 7 episodes, you're in the top 20% of all podcasts.
I'm not sure I've ever been in the top 20% of anything.
I know, right?
Right?
So kudos. So happy anniversary to the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Nice. I actually kind of think that our topic today, because it's just me and you, no guests today, no distractions. It's just me and you kind of chatting about something that we have embraced here at Hole in the Wall. We've had to teach it to our franchisees. We've had to reteach it to ourselves many times over the years. And I think we're kind of, I don't know, I won't say we're experts, but we're definitely down the road a bit in this type of subject. And it's really like it's the question that should be on top of mind for every entrepreneur out there. And how do you actually build your brand? Do you even have a brand? What is your brand? Well, I will tell you, even though you don't think you may have a brand, you have a brand. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, what's the thing you say to your kids all the time? You say, the reputation you have.
You have the one you've earned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trish talks about it all the time. He says, whether you know it or not, you have a brand. Whether it's good or not, that's in your control.
By design or by default.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I would look at it almost like the public facing side of your business, mm-hmm. the image that you create and sustain by how you interact with the public, how you are perceived by them. Mm-hmm. These are all part of it.
Yeah, and really, self-analysis is important for business owners. Like when you go to an event, how are you dressed? How are you acting? How are you perceived by the people who look at you? Are you on your phone the whole time, not engaged? These are all things that we need to kind of be thinking about, because you could do all the things that we list that we're going to list here on this podcast, but if you do it with a lack of enthusiasm, mm-hmm. you're going to kill your brand, because no one wants to be around someone who's got that doesn't do things well. I mean, if you're just dressing like a maniac, it's not good.
Yeah, you just kind of glossed over it a couple of minutes ago to it. There is a kind of getting your brand together. There's kind of an inventing your brand, but there's also a periodic refresh, mm-hmm. or reinventing the brand. It's almost an ongoing process where you're changing what's no longer relevant, or mm-hmm. or updating to stay with or ahead of the times.
Well, status quo won't get you far, because what got you here won't take you to the next level.
Yeah.
So you have to continually think about your brand and what's the next evolution of it. Do you need to do something different with, your logo? Do you need to do something different with your online presence? Mm-hmm. What is it? A vehicle? Is it a jingle? Is it, and if you add to it, you don't have to change anything, but you start adding to it, because we didn't build this company overnight. It literally took like small tweaks all the time. It's kind of like saving money, right? You put, 10% in the bank account every week is going to eventually grow. We just put small investments, small tweaks, small changes into our company. So when you look at us now, 10 plus years later, it's like, oh, wow, these guys got it together. Yeah, because we intentionally took some time.
And we showed up every day to do that.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So the big question really is, how do you build a brand that people recognize, that they trust and they talk about in the community? How do you go from the unknown to the unmissable?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Excuse me. The stage in business is all about planting the seeds, because the seeds you plant today are going to grow into a long-term reputation and full of referrals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just kind of talk about through, what's some of the ways that we can start building the brand that people can recognize and it sticks.
Yeah. And one of the things we want to look at is just kind of showing up where your customers already are. And already I want to sort of put a pin in that, because we have, for hole in the wall, and unfortunately, a lot of this, our experiences are with hole in the wall drywall repair. So,
Yeah.
but we actually have two style of customers that we want to show up for.
Yeah.
There's Helen, the homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I show up for her? Well, I just have a reputation. I'm doing online. These are people that are direct referrals from friends and family, essentially Facebook connections.
Or they could be part of your bigger networking group. Because, like, let's say
So there is some overlap there.
Yeah. So my BNI chapter, I get Helen the homeowner referrals all the time, right? If Shay Sin with Silver Linings Moving has a need, he's in someone's house moving them, and he sees any drywall repair, I'm working for the homeowner. So they do overlap. But then we have, the trade service partners. We call them Tony the tradesman.
Yep.
And those trade service partners are the ones that really help catapult you, and then you can really partner with them to make them look good to their customers. And so being where they are, right? So they don't know you exist. All the new franchisees we have coming through, I tell them, one of your bigger hurdles is going to let people know that you even exist. Because how many times have we heard drywall repair? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right.
Right. So you have to make yourself known to these people, or else they're not going to know that they need you. Right. So a lot of times you got to figure out, well, where are the people that you want to get in front of?
Yeah.
And then go get in front of them.
Yeah. Well, and here's something that we've talked about for the last several months, I think all spring long, is it's almost counterintuitive. It's difficult to point to, what's the term I'm looking for here, James? It's difficult to target someone. I know that they need what I do.
Right.
I know I'm the best solution for what they do. Once they got to know me, they would understand I'm the best solution for what they need. And it can work, but it's counterintuitive. It's difficult to go straight at that person.
Yeah.
With that discussion. I know you need me. I'm exactly what you need. I'm going to make you better.
Yeah.
So what is the alternative to that? You have to come in a side door. And everybody wants to do business with somebody, the BNI thing, everybody wants to do business with somebody they know, they like, they trust.
Right.
So you have to put yourself in a position through networking to get to know people, and then let them get to like you and trust you. And once they kind of cross those bridges, then they want to do business with you. And this is something that Sean Lydon, our business coach, has been saying to us. But as I'm driving around one day, looking through the windshield, I'm going, you just can't go directly at people. You got to kind of come in the side. And that's what some of these networking events provide.
Yeah.
They provide a venue for you to go meet people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because your brand isn't just your logo. It's not all about your colors. You need to have a good look, right? So that's important. That's part of building your brand, is having a good look. But it's not just about the look, although it's important. It's about being present and being available.
Well, I would argue that a brand has to have a personality, not a person, but the brand itself has a personality that is put out there by how it looks, and then how the people that are in the brand behave.
Yeah, we actually spent a lot of time creating our brand voice. We literally have it on paper. What is our voice? What is our tone? Whether it's going to be for marketing or social media or on our websites.
Yep.
And so we intentionally have a tone, a feel, a style in our brand that we had to kind of do. But, when you carry that into the real world, you're at a Chamber of Commerce event, you're at some restaurant, and you're, socializing after hours with other business people. It's you they're looking at. Right. You got a branded shirt on. That's good. So no, hold on. Well, that's great.
That's interesting.
Do you have your, 30-second, 60-second elevator pitch? Do you know the right questions to ask? Do you know how to engage somebody? Do you know how to shut your mouth and listen and just be an active listener for somebody? You know what?
It's funny you mentioned that, because I'm thinking about BNI right now, because you always have to give a 60-second pitch. And some groups I know are 30 or 45 seconds if there's a lot of members in that group. You also do a lot of listening at BNI. That was one of the first impressions I had, was I get to speak for 60 seconds. Otherwise, for this hour and a half meeting, I'm listening.
Yep. And be an active listener. Be engaged, learn about them. Maybe you've got something in common with somebody that then strikes a chord with them and man, I really like talking to this guy. Let me find a way to give him some referrals.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So what kind of events are we talking about? Listen, be in your community. We tell our franchisees, whether it's a BNI event, whether it's a Chamber of Commerce event, maybe it's a school fundraiser, maybe it's a church Bible study, maybe,
ball team,
be in your community, right? Be an active person in your community.
Yeah.
Like, heck, if you get a little league team, then go advertise on them. So your logo is on the fence of that little league.
Yeah.
Every time. I mean, it's
through
really
GOBA, I met another business that their outreach is collecting clothes and participating in sort of Meals on Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they outreach to their community.
Perfect. It's great. We had, when your kids were in theater, we would advertise in the brochure for the theater, because you want to kind of be out there, and that advertisement supports the community, supported the theater troupe. So those are important. People won't know what you do until you show up. Introduce yourself. Building your brand awareness. It's becoming familiar, being that friendly face in places where your ideal customers already are.
Yeah. And what was it Wes Robbins shared with us? Show up and keep showing up.
Yep. Because if you don't.
How many people go to one or two Chamber of Commerce events and then they don't go anymore?
Yeah.
And Wes pointed out, the minute you don't show up, nobody will notice.
No one's missing
if
you.
You drop out of BNI, you pretty soon lose connection. I had a BNI member 4 or 5 years ago, very close to, and I haven't been in BNI for a minute, and I reached out to recently, never even merited a return phone call.
Yeah. Crazy. Mm-hmm. So being active is important, and showing up consistently is important because, again, if you don't show up, no one's going to miss you. Like, we sponsor a real estate trade service event every month for the Chamber of Commerce, and I couldn't go this past month. If it wasn't for the fact that hole-in-the-wall logos were everywhere, I really wasn't missed personally, So I need to be there, or someone from your company should be at these locations as often as possible. So
the next point I'd like to make is make sure that you're telling your story kind of everywhere to everybody.
Everywhere. It's funny because we used to kind of joke, because our kids always wear the hole-in-the-wall shirts everywhere they go. Even when they're at church, they're walking to the store. They're
Listen, my beach vacation pictures, they're all, 3 of the 4 of them are wearing hole-in-the-wall shirts.
Yeah. And it was funny when we started franchising, you met with Chris Connor, and he says, you need to spread the hole-in-the-wall story everywhere you can. Write blog posts, do podcasts, go on interviews, plaster it all over your business cards and your websites, make your presence known online. And that's truly important. You want to make sure that you are connecting with real humans, not just services. You want to make sure that they know that they're talking to somebody who's real. I got to tell you, there's many websites out there. There's people that clone our website all the time. And I've looked at them, and I look at their website, and you don't see a picture of the owner. There's no About Us section. There's no bio. You don't even know it's a real person. And the fact is, I know they're not real people, because people like Angie's List and Home Advisor, they do pop-up companies in SEO for those fake companies. And when you say get an estimate, it goes right into the Angie Leads server.
Interesting.
Right? They do that quite a bit. So, make it a habit. Share your why.
I love that.
Why are you in business? So make it a habit to share your why everywhere you can. Why did you start your business? What problem are you solving? What are you passionate about? These are good stories. When people talk to us, they want to know our origin story. How did you and Bill meet? I mean, we talk about this. We actually have a video just to kind of talk about it. Our very first podcast was about how we met, because it's such a good story, and people want to hear about it, and they get involved in your company, right? So you want to make your story present, and you want to make sure that you're telling people your why, and you're engaging them.
Yes.
Did you know that there are over 140 million homes in the U.S.? 97% of them have walls and ceilings that are built using drywall. The drywall repair industry is simply enormous, valued at over $13 billion a year. We're hole-in-the-wall drywall repair, and for years we have been perfecting the art of repairing drywall, developing and refining our systems, and strengthening our brand. Our business model is simple, scalable, and easy to learn. We believe it's a real game changer. We are successful drywall repair pros who decided to take our repair business to a higher level growing both our franchise training and support to industry-leading standards. You'll benefit from our vast experience helping your franchise hit the ground running and achieve success quickly. We'll give you access to our marketing team that has created strategic programs designed to get your phone ringing and booking new business fast. Join a fast-growing leader in an exciting dynamic segment of the home service industry by franchising with hole-in-the-wall drywall repair. Start building your own business and securing your own financial future today.
Another really important piece of that, in my mind, is making sure you're pointing out what makes you different from other people in your industry. And for us, that's easy because the drywall repair industry, I'm not saying it doesn't have professional people in it, but it doesn't have professional acting and feeling people in it.
Yeah.
And that's where we're different. We're not doing new homes where we can just dress in shorts and ripped off T-shirts and, just be like that. We're in someone's home, some woman's home, possibly with her children there.
Yeah. And we did a podcast on it a while back. What is your value proposition? What makes you different?
Yeah.
And what makes people, why should they use you in your business over somebody else? I got to tell you, there's a ton I'm a marketer. Well, what kind of marketer are you? Do you market in print media? Do you market in advertising on TV or radio? Oh, I'm a social media marketer. Okay, great. So what does that mean? Do you work with SEO? Do you work with just Facebook ads? Why am I paying? Why would I want to pay you? Why are you different than somebody else? Make sure people know what you do in a way that's short, concise, but lets them know that you're different and you're better. And what is that way? Because the story is important. Make sure you share your story across social media in every conversation you have. Yeah. Make a short video. One of the things that we talk about with Tyler is video lives on the internet forever, and it works for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Well, if you have the same question that gets asked over and over again, answer that question in a video. Put links up, put it on your social media. Make sure, our video business card is in my signature on my email address. So people can watch it, and learn all about us just by clicking on that link.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you're not just building a business, but you're really kind of building your local legend. What is your local legacy? People know you in this town, Bill, because you've been here for decades.
Yeah, been a while. So, but what we're trying to point out to people as they're starting their business, and frankly, anybody that's in business, if you're not doing these things, begin to engage this stuff. You will see a difference. We're surprised, as long as we've been doing the things that we do, once in a while someone will mention something to us and we're like, well, we haven't really leaned into that. Let's give that a try. Yeah. And then first thing you know, we're like, that produced results.
Yeah. And as much as you try and you think you're everywhere, listen, for the longest time we thought, listen, all you have to do is Google drywall repair Orlando and we're number one. Got it. We're on the first page of Google 10 times. So obviously people know who we are and they know why, what we do. Wrong. Then we started meeting realtors and they go, oh, I didn't know you guys existed. I could have used you last week.
It is shocking, isn't it? How often somebody doesn't know who we are because all we've done for most of 20 years is just stand on the roof and crow about who we are.
Yeah, and so don't ever think you're done because you're not done.
No, it's an ongoing business activity, no doubt about that.
All right, so you need to have a way to build this brand, but you want to make sure you're growing referrals, right? Because those referrals are better than leads, because leads are just kind of cold leads and you don't know who they are. But a referral is different because if someone is referring you, that means they've talked about you to the person they're referring you to.
True.
And then you now know that they already have the need for your services that you could potentially help them solve. And they're already expecting you to call. So building this referral train, this pipeline of referrals is important because you want to build the relationships with people who are going to refer you. Because you can't touch the end user all the time, but you can touch other people who touch end users all the time, right? So build a strategy for these referral relationships because your brand isn't built by itself. You're not doing business in a vacuum.
Yeah, you can't do it alone.
So align yourself with other businesses that share your customer base, and that don't compete with each other, right? Yeah. And for us, that's our trade service partners. Yeah. That's our solar companies, our roofing companies, our HVAC companies,
real estate agents,
property managers,
home inspectors,
plumbers, electricians. And these are all people that are really part of our ecosphere, our system.
Yeah.
You know, insurance adjusters. These are all people who need our services. But if they don't know we exist and we don't have the relationship with somebody, then there's no way we're going to get in that door. You know.
Right. And so once you've established these kind of relationships, and this should be an ongoing process, you want to really make it easy for people to refer you. So they need to understand who you are, what you do. And in light of that, you want to make sure that you're being consistent, responsive. If somebody calls and asks for work and you're not responding in a timely fashion, that's not good.
And it's not professional.
We want to be professional always in everything from first touch to last with a customer.
Yeah. And so when they know you deliver, right, when they know that you are a man of your word, when you're consistent, you like to follow through, you become part of their brand too.
Yeah.
And now we're become partners in profits with a number of other companies out there because they trust us and we make them look good to their customer. If a plumber refers us and we do a junky job repairing the holes that they did for maybe a repipe,
yeah,
they're not going to refer us again. And the customer is going to look down on them because they referred us. So we have to put our job where our mouth is, right? But when we make them look good, it becomes now they have no other choice but to refer you because you are part of their business too.
So you make their brand look better, but by extension, you make yourself look all the better too. More professional, more reliable. Yeah. Quality service provider.
Absolutely. And so we want to make sure that we are owning our own online real estate.
Oh, so critical nowadays.
What does that mean? You know, well, do you own like the basics? I mean, we actually had a couple people on the podcast. I won't throw them under the bus, but they didn't even have their Google page, their Google business profile done. Like it's free. But they just didn't know. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't know what to do. So the very first thing we do for all of our franchisees is we build their Google presence. Why? Because Google's the number one search engine in the world.
We believe in it that much.
Yeah, you have to be there. So, but own your own brand. Make sure you have the domain name you want for your website. You know, make sure you have have you trademarked your brand? You know, is this something you want to take somewhere else? You know, have you protected yourself? It doesn't cost that much money.
If you don't have a good online presence in this day and age, for all intents and purposes, you don't exist.
Exactly. And to me, it's more than just, well, I got a Facebook page. That's good enough. Not really, because you're not going to get ranked by Google if you don't have a website.
Yeah.
And websites aren't very expensive. They can be. Trust me. We spent thousands on them. But you could build a free site on Wix or on Weebly. You could hire someone like we do.
Yeah.
That we pay a monthly fee and we just make sure our website's styled in, but it's very reasonable. But get that site built in and make sure you own everything that there is. Try and watermark your photos. We've got people that have stolen our photos from our website and put them on their website, right? So have we protected ourselves? Have we owned all of our own intellectual property and all of our real estate online? Make sure you're doing that. So it's not just Google. Don't forget, there are other search engines out there. You have Yahoo and Yelp, and a lot of people don't like Google, so they're using like DuckDuckGo, and they're using some other, Bing is big, Microsoft Bing. So you have to put yourself out there so the other search engines as well can find you. And that for us, that means we have to be on Yelp, we have to be on Angie Leads, we have to be on Home Advisor, and our Facebook presence is important for those other things.
Well, and we've even determined that we need to be on some stuff that we don't even use. We're not big. I don't use TikTok at all.
Yeah.
But one of the arguments for being there is it's free.
It's free.
There's no cost.
Yeah.
There's no downside on that.
We're still not on TikTok.
Well, we should be, though.
I know. I don't like it.
I want to point out, though, that it's so important, James, to have an online presence because even if you're an amazing person with an amazing business, if you have a weak online presence or zero, it makes you look unprofessional, unestablished, unsustainable. You look fly by night. So, the thing is strong brands live both online and offline.
That's right. Make sure you're asking for reviews. Make sure people are saying positive things about you. That's part of owning your brand, right? Make sure your website's clean and simple. Make sure you've got all of the right zip codes and landmarks so when people research, they know that, hey, we service Belle Isle, Florida, not just Orlando, Florida, right? So Those things are all important, and making your online presence known. Own that real estate, because that real estate is yours. You just have to own it and reach out and grab it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So wrapping up, we've talked about this quite a bit, but you just need to be consistent and be visible. You need to be there, and you need to be there all the time. Make yourself known. Be a regular at places.
And I'd like to just pause for a minute to give you a public and online kudos. James Groves, you are up often early in the morning going to a morning group. I see often that you are doing a group after hours. Sometimes you're driving 30 minutes or more out to do that. And I'm just like, my hat's off. It can be difficult to do. I mean, it absolutely takes focus, determination, and drive, but I have seen it pay off.
It does. And, if I want to be lazy about it, then we may lose an opportunity. Rarely do I go to an event that I don't walk away with a new contact. Or heck, I've gone to events where I walked away with thousands of dollars worth of work. Yeah. And had I not gone to that event, I would have missed out entirely.
Yeah. And I had that experience with the first trip to Goba.
Yeah.
I met two good partners and saw several friends that I already knew at that event. So it just reinforced to me, show up and keep showing up.
Because your reputation, the repetition of showing up, it builds recognition, right? So just showing up consistently, people start to build that trust, and you get recognized, and you get that recognition you need. The more consistently you show up online, in your community, whether it's your job sites, the more trust that you are building. Everyone's kind of has this trust bank. Like in marriage, we have our emotional bank account with our wives. So we always are trying to put, I call it putting chips in the bank with my spouse, right? Making sure that I'm always trying to be positive, because some days I'm going to do something stupid and then I'll make a withdrawal.
You may need a withdrawal.
Right. And so you want to make sure you're building that trust in the trust bank of these people who are going to hopefully be giving you some referrals and some work. Make sure you're giving people, regular social media posts, some behind the scenes stuff. Introduce your team.
Well, and essentially this is showing up online.
Yeah.
Don't just show up at these meetings, but also you want to show up regularly on your social media posts, emails, newsletters, things like that, where you're showing up by just reaching out and touching people.
That's true. We just had Matthew Collins from Collins.
Kitchen
and Bath. And his online game is great. He is doing customer showcases. He is talking behind the scenes stuff. He's talking about new trends of cabinetry and backsplashes, and he's even sharing some family stuff. He's doing a great job of making himself known online. Yeah, because I want to redo my kitchen and hire that guy now because he's just so doggone good about it. But those are cool. And maybe it's just an email update, or maybe it's just some sort of newsletter, or you always want to keep that brand plate spinning. You always want to be there and keep showing up. Make sure your vehicles are wrapped and you've got, your embroidered shirts on or logoed shirts on. This is just a way to kind of keep things kind of fresh in the mind of people so when they need you.
Now, I know we don't use yard signs, but a lot of companies do that as a way of just keeping their name out there. And I thought about that. I'm sitting at a stoplight last week and I'm watching the county guy. He's just pulling them up left and right, putting them in the back of his pickup truck. So they're probably not, I think they do work some.
They're beneficial for some. First of all, they're not cheap. You're spending $3 to $5 per yard sign, right? And they're just going to get, either you got to go back and pick it up later, which is more time out of your day, or you just know it's going to get lost. Yeah.
A couple other things I would touch on, and we've done a pretty good job of using uniforms. Our uniforms aren't fancy. Our guys wear orange shirts, but they have the Hole in the Wall logo on the front and on the back. We require them to wear painter's whites, painter's shorts, or tan shorts. Yep. We specifically don't allow cutoff jeans unless they're hemmed. They're not ragged. You're not going to the beach. You're going to work. Yeah. And we want to make sure that they're wearing boots. So we're not super formal with it, but there's a defined look that we want them to have. Yeah. And then I'll let you touch on this a little bit, the vehicle wraps.
Yeah, it's free advertising. It's funny is I don't have a vehicle wrap budget. I have a marketing budget. And I put vehicle wraps in that marketing bucket because outside of our Google presence, our vehicles become the number 2 lead gen that we have.
Yeah.
Because people see us. We put QR codes. And this is where it goes back to make it easy to refer you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have a QR code that you just scan that and all you got to do is send it to your customer, right? Whatever it is, the vehicles, they do that. And if it's you have a small work truck, slap a magnet on it, let people know who you are and what you do. Because it's crucial, because someday someone's going to look. We got people that just take pictures of our vehicles all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our friends will take them pictures and text them to us and just kind of like, hey, look what I found in the wild.
Yeah.
So those are kind of cool things to do.
Yeah. Well, and I by way of wrapping up, I would say that your brand needs to feel, kind of like Chevy used to say, the heartbeat of America, but your brand needs to be part of the heartbeat of your community.
Yep. Your community needs you, and they need to know that you exist. So spend a few minutes a day and just make sure that you're benefiting your community and that you're showing up again and again, and that your audience will start to remember you, and they'll start to refer you. They'll start to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And we are all doing life together, and we want to make sure that we're benefiting our community. It's not just about that next sale.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're trying to find the next sale, I think you're going about the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would rather have a more meaningful sale where I'm actually helping somebody than just have, a digit, because in the end, it's about the relationships, because that person, Helen the homeowner, is great because she is going to, it's cash flow, right? It's nice.
Yeah.
But she is going to go to her Bible study. She is going to go to her friend group. And when someone says, I need some drywall repair, she's going to refer you, right? And people all the time during Facebook community groups, they're asking complete strangers that are in their community, I need a babysitter, I need someone to do my lawn care, I need a chiropractor, I need a drywall person. And you want to make sure that your name shows up. And that's who Helen does for you. She leaves you 5-star reviews, and she's really becomes your cheerleader.
Yeah.
There are people that post and share our posts online that have been our customer one time 8 years ago, but they still follow us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, fun. We did 30 minutes on that.
Wrap it up.
I know. I guess that's good. Well, listeners, I hope you guys got something out of it. I think that building your brand is important. Making sure that you are up front and center in your community and you're staying consistent is something that you need to do in your business to kind of keep it growing. So with that, one more time, happy 3-year anniversary, Bill, of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Episode 148. We're averaging almost 50 a year.
My goodness.
Not bad. And so listen, thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll catch you again soon. We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. We'd love for you to join our Facebook group and keep the conversation going. If you'd like to learn more about us and our business, check us out at holeinthewall.com. If you'd like to learn more about how to start a Hole in the Wall franchise, go to holeinthewallfranchising.com.